Levani, and I'm the host of the Technology for Obama Innovator Series, and I'm here with Judy Estrin, serial entrepreneur, 3 times Fortune Magazine 50 Most Powerful Women, ex-CTO of Cisco, one of the great luminaries also on innovation. So it's been a pleasure being here and talking to you.
Pleasure being here.
I wanted, you've had a storied business career. I think you've seen everything. You've worked with great CEOs. You've started companies. Are there a couple lessons that you take out in terms of just advice for someone as they kind of think about their own career or their own business?
So advice for entrepreneurs or as innovators?
No, as entrepreneurs. Just
you know, I think there's, I've learned lots of lessons. Makes me feel old to say that, but
we all have battle scars.
That's right. I think that lesson number 1 is you really want to be passionate about what you're doing. Entrepreneurship is hard. And so those people who say to me, I want to start a company, how do I find an idea, are less likely to really succeed than those people who have a burning idea and then start a company. And so the first lesson I've learned is the more passion you have around something, now you have to balance that passion with being realistic of, are you too early? Is there a market there? But that passion is what carries you through all the naysayers who tell you you can't do it. So that's number 1. Number 2, don't be afraid to fail. The fact of the matter is, if you're so afraid of failure, you're going to take little baby steps. And you need to be able to go into this adventure understanding that actually most entrepreneurs fail. And the key is to learn from it. You don't, again, want to fail, but don't be afraid of failure. And even if it's little failures along the way, take those lessons to adjust and adapt. Lesson number 3 is very few businesses ended up doing what they started off thinking. So keep your mind open. Keep your mind open to things that might take you in another path. You may be going in one direction and actually the real opportunity is over here on the side. So just get as much information in, and it's this delicate balance because the passion is what allows you to do something new and great, but you also want to have that self-assessment. And someone I once interviewed said entrepreneurs have to be critical optimists. Optimists carry you through. The self-doubt is what allows you to make sure that you're not going so fast that you go right into a wall. Yeah. So that's a couple of them.
That's good advice. Is there, you know, you talked about failure a second ago. Is there one failure you'd look at yourself where you said that was my single best learning experience in my life?
You know, I have so many different experiences like that. I can't point to one. I think I have some, the first 3 companies we built were very successful. After Cisco, we spun off a couple of companies. We did an experiment in a business model, spun off a couple of companies, and that's when the market crashed. And one of those companies had to be shut down, and that was one of the hardest things I had ever had to do. And I always preached failure, but here I was acknowledging failure. But I don't think there's one. I think that there's been, my approach is I'd rather acknowledge a mistake early, because then you can adapt. And I've always tried to create cultures in my companies of making sure that people aren't afraid to talk about mistakes, because when you hide a mistake, it gets bigger, it grows. If you talk about a mistake early, you have a chance to fix that. And even the large companies that I've been on the board of and the great leaders are ones who encourage that openness of communication, the acknowledgement. You don't shoot the messenger. Somebody makes a mistake, you learn from it and you move on.
And we were talking earlier, but you're on the board of Walt Disney, and Bob Iger is one of the great CEOs, I think, in the industry, and is also a big, you know, he was telling me a story of where they'd made a big bet on a mobile application that didn't work.
Yes.
And that he made a real point of making sure that it was applauded and no one got in trouble for it. It was supported.
Yes, he is. He's a great example of not just one of the greatest CEOs in the industry, but I would say one of the greatest CEOs that I've seen in any industry. And part of that is his ability to be open, to look at different things, and to accept failure and learn from it.
Yeah, well, that's great advice. So it's been a pleasure being here to talk with you, Judy. And we, in the next segment, are going to talk a little bit more on your thoughts on this coming election. So thank you.